Okay, so we're gonna start with our science class right now, the official syllabus of Form 2. Alright, so that was just an introduction to my class just now. Okay, so let's go to the entire screen. Alright, okay, so the first topic of science is actually biodiversity for chapter 2. Alright, so what do you understand about biodiversity? Alright, so you can, in my class, you can actually Google, you can actually look up, the best is actually for you to write out what you understand about biodiversity. Alright, since most of you have your textbook already, so you can actually look into that, but I would really appreciate if you can actually give me your own words. Types of living creatures, diversity of flora and fauna, about the ecosystem. Kashin Elena. Yeah, it's actually part of the ecosystem as well. Diversity of organism. Good. What about the rest? What is biodiversity? What do you understand about biodiversity? All right, good. All right. In class point, in this particular activity of word cloud, do you notice nature has a bigger font size? I think that's because there's 2 or 3 students answering. See, there's 2 students answering nature. The bigger the font size, the more frequent the answer will be. All right, good. Biology. Okay, all right. Gonna end this at 1 minute 30 seconds. Any other answers? Okay, good. Lucian cannot change color one. All right, I'm gonna stop the submission already. All right, so based on your friend's answer, all right, what do you understand about biodiversity? Okay, so we have let's see, there is 4 students who actually answered nature, and for your information, the people who answered nature is Kai Xian, Sarisha, Hadif, Venushana. Okay, so the rest says that biodiversity, environment of different types of living things, okay, diverseness of all living things. Okay, biodiversity is about flora and fauna. All right, good. All these answers. Okay. I understand that biodiversity is a wide range of a variety of living things in a specific habitat. Okay, good. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. Um, Malaysia is actually part of the 12 uh, most biodiverse. All right. Uh, okay. I'm going to stop sharing for a while because I want to show you that particular video. Because in Malaysia, all right, Malaysia being a tropical region, it has the most biodiversity. It's actually the top 12. So I'm going to show you this particular video, all right, regarding this particular resource.
Malaysia is recognized internationally as one of 12 mega-diverse countries in the world. As Malaysians, we have been blessed with a rich and diverse natural world that has seen the country become a hotspot for nature lovers from across the globe. But this beautiful natural world is now severely under threat. The poaching of protected animals such as the Malayan tiger, the sun bear, and other endangered species have led to the steady decline of their population in our ecosystem. To counter this issue, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, or NRE, with the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, Perhilitan, have been working closely to ensure the protection of our wildlife.
Kes-kes jenayah hidupan liar ini meningkat disebabkan juga oleh aktiviti pengusahaan yang kita jalankan juga turut meningkat, dan juga kerjasama dengan agensi penguasa lain di bawah strategi Lautan Biru atau juga dikenali dengan nama NBOS, National Blue Ocean Strategy.
The commitment of the NRE and Perhilitan needs to be supported by an awareness from the public. We have to realize that it will take a united effort from everyone to stop wildlife poaching and illegal trade. Only by taking up this responsibility can we ensure that our wildlife and its beautiful natural habitat will continue to thrive peacefully.
Pesanan saya kepada anda di luar sana, jika tidak ada lagi permintaan terhadap hidupan liar, maka tidak ada lagi keluar tanah.
Our future generations deserve to appreciate our biodiverse natural world. Therefore, it is our responsibility today to conserve and protect it. Serve to conserve.
All right, just now that particular video is talking about Malaysia's biodiversity. So share what you actually learned from that particular video. Okay. And for 2Pi who actually first time entering my class memang I want student to respond a lot. Okay. I don't talk that much. So what did you learn from that particular video? Hannah responded. All right, serve to conserve. What about the rest? All right. Must preserve the ecosystem. Learn to stop hunting the animals to protect them. Yes, that's true. All right, good. Hui Ting's answer. If we lose more of our animals, we will not be one of the 12 mega biodiverse countries anymore. Good, that's correct. Black market is strange, Khadija. Hi, Khadija. Learn that we must save our ecosystem. Yes, correct. Malayan tigers are an endemic species. Good. Protect animals from hunters. How are we going to protect the animals? Right? How are we going to protect them? Elena Sri, are you having problem to enter the class point? Okay. Never mind. You can continue answering inside the Google Meet because I'm seeing the answers also. I have another phone for me to look at it. We have to help and conserve. Now, how to help and conserve animals. All right, we're going to talk about the management of biodiversity in the next class. Okay, so it's not an easy task. It's actually easy to be said, but it's not very easy to carry out that particular thing. All right, but guess what you guys are saying is true. Biodiversity needs to be conserved. It needs to be preserved. All right, so I'm giving you guys another 30 seconds before I actually close the submission. And again, a reminder to all of you, every single time I ask a question, it's actually an opportunity for you to achieve your level bending. All right, so I'll have more challenging questions coming up after this, and that particular question will actually enable you to get band 3, band 4, and band 5. Currently, the first few parts are all band 1 and band 2 questions. There are many endangered species. It needs to be protected. All right, learn how not to buy products made from animals. All right, good answer, Adina. All right, Darren's answer. Preserve wildlife by enforcing laws and regulation and having wildlife sanctuaries. Good. Furthermore, conserving the species by taking part in reproductional programs for the animals. All right, good. Eat only sustainable seafood. Seafood? Why only seafood, Durga? Protect wildlife by creating an animal sanctuary. All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to stop the submission already. All right, so I've already shared and all of us have already seen. We need dedicated governments to carry out those laws. Yes, correct, Hui Ping. We need dedicated governments to actually recognize that it's important to carry out the laws and not just saying and approving the law only. It's very important to actually carry it out. All right, so diversity of organism. Biodiversity. Bio actually comes from the word biology. All right, biology means natural stuff, plants, animals. Okay, diversity means many different types. So biodiversity means that there's many different types of living things that we're gonna talk about. So whatever that's alive, all right, whatever that is alive is actually part of the biodiversity. So what is the definition of biodiversity? All right, this is taken out from your textbook. You can refer to that as well. Biodiversity is the diversity of organisms, whether microorganisms, animals, or plants. All right, so whatever it is, as long as it's a flora and fauna, all right, it is actually a part of the biodiversity. All right, there's many different types of living things. All right. So can you find one example of biodiversity in Malaysia? All right, I want you to actually find one example of biodiversity in Malaysia. So right now, you're using your phone, you're using your laptops, all right? Go to the Google, find one example of biodiversity in Malaysia, online search, copy and paste into the class point. Go online, copy, search for Malaysia's biodiversity, and try not to overlap your friend's biodiversity. Jaden, don't take shortcut. I only one example. You're not giving me an example, Jaden. Uh, yeah, you can't type because this is an image upload. Maya, download the photo into your phone or your computer. All right, save it. Then when you click upload, are you having problem here or should I change? All right, see some of the friends have already managed to do so. Mangrove forests. All right, good. Don't repeat. I challenge you guys not to repeat. Waiting. All right, note that biodiversity doesn't actually only mean about animals. It can be plants as well. All right, anything that is flora and fauna is biodiversity. Turga, I don't think so. That's an example of Malaysia's biodiversity. All right, good. Hannah? Correct. How young? That's it? No more? 38 people only? All right, good. Hadith, correct. Zara, good one. Elena managed to come in already. Good. Rafflesia. Many people keep putting Rafflesia and also the orangutan. Huh? All right, closing soon. Putri Amelia, is rhino in Malaysia? All right, I'm closing this. There's one that I want to discuss. Let's discuss. All right, just an example, okay? All right, the Sumatran rhinoceros is now extinct in Malaysia. So it's really a part of Malaysia biodiversity? It's a learning process, all right, even though I'm a science teacher, but to be more exact, I'm a physics teacher. So biology is not really part of my major, as how two eta and two theta already know by now. All right, so okay, good to know. Roshir actually commented in the Google Meet saying that it's already now extinct in Malaysia. We can't find it in Malaysia anymore. All right, thanks for informing me that. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay, so as we already know just now, and also in your textbook, you have already known that Malaysia is actually one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries. Okay, whereby we have the hibiscus, we have the orangutan, we have the Malayan tiger, and then we have the rafflesia. Okay, so it's actually very, very important, all right, for us to actually preserve this mega biodiversity. And the main reason why we are in the mega biodiversity countries is because we are actually located at the equatorial. So our climate is actually very suitable for majority of this flora and fauna that we have in Malaysia. Okay, now I'm gonna do this something interesting. Match the biodiversity species with a suitable habitat. All right. So you can actually draw using your mouse, or if you're using your phone, you can actually draw that. Okay, match the biodiversity species with a suitable habitat. Are you able to do so? I'll close this activity at the 3 minute mark, so you have 1 more minute to go. Thirty seconds to go. All right. Okay. Sorry. So I noticed that most actually have almost the same answer. Some very obvious. Okay. I think majority actually got the almost same answer. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you guys what the actual answer is. This is the actual answer. All right. So the desert is actually this is actually a cat, a desert cat. Okay, we can actually see from the ears and all. All right. All right, the fox is actually from the forest. This is actually a snow rabbit, so it's actually at the Arctic or the polar. And then this is obvious now. Okay, so majority actually got this correct. This is actually from the oceans. All right, and sloth obviously is actually from the tropical rainforest. Can a desert cat be raised in Malaysia? I'm not sure. Okay, waiting. I know it looks very cute, but I have no idea. You can actually Google search that. Okay, so do you think biodiversity is important? All right, explain your answer. Do you think biodiversity is actually very important? Hey, wait, give me 1 quick minute because I noticed that I used the wrong. Wait one quick minute. Okay. So do you think biodiversity is actually important? Ray Hong, being able to buy a fennec fox is in Malaysia, but doesn't mean that it is actually allowed to be a pet. Okay, you have to understand that things that you can buy doesn't mean that it can actually be a pet in Malaysia. It could be an extinct animal that is protected. So you might go against the law in Malaysia, all right? Do you think biodiversity is important? All right, think. All right, I'm giving you a Bantry level question right now. Do you think biodiversity is important? Explain in your own answer. Now, you have to understand, in order to achieve a Bantry, and especially when I mention explain, you have to give more reasoning, more explanation. So if you answer the question by yes, biodiversity is important to the ecosystem, but you didn't explain why, all right, you must actually explain further in order to get that Bantry. Okay. Student response last year before that is very difficult to get band PBD for my class. Yes, it's true. But then I give a lot of opportunity. All right, I like seeing some of the answers coming. All right, yes, because animals and plants is food supply to humans. All right, good. Now that is much more better. Okay, biodiversity is important because it helps to maintain the ecosystem. Good. Stopping time for this question is the 5-minute mark, so that's 2 more minutes to go. So those who wants to get band 3, you better answer. Yes, because it makes flora and fauna more fascinating, which makes people interested to learn about it. Good. Therefore, people will be more aware about dangerous activities such as animal hunting. Good. All right, good answers. Important because it's essential to support all life on Earth, because without a diverse selection of living organisms, we won't have air to breathe. All right, good answer, Reho. Maya, good answer. Benefit us in terms of tourists and money. So economy is very, very important. Good. All right, you have 1 minute 15 seconds to go. All right, good answer. All right, you have roughly around 1 minute to go. The remaining 20 plus students, please hurry up. Good answer, Samantha. All right, good. Happy to see that you're actually using your knowledge from Form 1. right, 10 seconds to go. All right, good, Khadija. Okay, time for me to stop. All right, you can actually see your friend's answer from here. Banyak, panjang. All right, so, okay, let's see. Khadija, biodiversity is important not only to the atmosphere, but also things like food chain. Furthermore, plants are used for medicines as well for ecosystem. Animals is needed as food supply. Good. All right, good, good. Seeing all the answers, I'm very, very sure that your textbook is open beside you and you use the internet. That's a good thing. Maya, because it gives us a chance to many types of living things for ecological system for the benefits of them and for us, such as tourists and money. All right, that's what I mentioned just now about economy. Okay, good. Don't worry if I don't read out your answer. I will actually go through them in order to give you the band marks later. And then I'll pass it to your respective teachers when the teacher come and take over. All right, good. Okay, the importance of biodiversity, as most of you know, and these slides are actually taken out from the textbook actually. Number one, obviously, is the source of our food, all right? Not only for humans, but also for animals as well. Okay, it's a source of food, and for some plants also, it's a source of food. So animal and plants are actually food supply to humans, but not only to humans, as I just mentioned, it can be food supply for animals and also plants themselves. All right, biodiversity is very important because it keeps balance in nature. All right, the cycle of nutrients, pollination interactions between organisms create a balance in nature. So if one thing, let's just say the flowers and the bees, if the bees are taken away, all right, if the bees are actually taken away, it will actually cause, even the bees are very small, it will actually disrupt the balance of nature as well. Okay, recreational places, all right, these are all the conserved areas. Okay, so the recreational area places such as Pulau Tioman or Pulau Redang, okay, or even Cameron Highlands, all right. So most of these places are actually biodiversity. It's actually a recreational areas for us also. So it can be developed as a recreational places. And please make sure if you were to go any of these places, please make sure you look after the cleanliness after that. All right, medical. All right, there are very, very many useful of it. Okay, so in this particular case, all right, there's many uses of the herbs. All right, so herbs are widely used in the manufacture of medicines and cosmetics as well. All right, raw materials for industries. Okay, so timber, bamboo, rattan are example of forest products which are used to make musical instruments, furnitures, and to build buildings. All right, so it is actually one of the resources, all right, from the biodiversity as well. All right, another part is obviously education. Humans increase the knowledge and create new technology through scientific research on microorganisms, animals, and planets. Everything that we keep on researching and everything that we find out right now, it will increase our knowledge as well. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I have this particular question that I'm going to throw to you. Zara, I can see your message. So, by the way, you will notice one thing. That particular emoji is not me. It's another teacher who actually created some of the slides. I add in whatever that I want to. Okay, so it's 9:25 right now. I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, all right, after this, I'm gonna stop sharing first. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is actually for our next class is actually going to be on Thursday. All right, so I hope that throughout this particular 1.5 hours with me, all right, you guys have already refreshed your memory about science and a little bit introduction about that biodiversity. Okay, if you want to actually have science more interesting, especially in this 2 weeks online class, I would strongly ask you guys to actually read before we start the class. Okay, so look into your textbook. You have the physical textbook, you have the soft copy as well. So what I want you guys to do is look into the management of biodiversity. All right, look into the management of biodiversity. I'll come up with an activity for us to do on the coming Thursday. All right, I repeat again, read up on textbook, research about the management of biodiversity, okay? And we will discuss that part during the next lesson on Thursday, okay? So I hope that you guys, especially 2Pi, who's first time in my class again, all right? So I hope you guys actually enjoyed this particular lesson of science for today. Let's stop.